What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog. Got another spicy brew for you guys today. For this one, we're looking at Sultai Hydras. Just a quick review of the deck here. We're going to start off with a couple Stonecoil Serpents. A nice X-Spell for all the ramp we're trying to do here. Reach, Trample, and the protection from multicolored. You never know when that could be relevant. Ramping with some Incubation Druids and Paradise Druids. Also the Beanstalk Giant, as it can search up for a basic that enters untapped. And later on we can just play it as a big old 7/7 or more, depending on how many lands we have. We also have 4 Kioras, which is going to draw us a bunch of cards when we play our big boys. We have a Hydra's Growth that puts a counter on the creature that it enchants, and the following turn on our upkeep it doubles the number of counters. We have Polukranos, which is a 4-mana 6/6 Hydra. Technically enters with 6/+1 counters on it. Also has Escape, so it can come back with 12/+1 counters on it. Also, the ability to fight creatures can be pretty handy since we're not running a ton of removal. We have one of Sharktocrab. It's a 4/4 for 4. We can pay to adapt it, and when it adapts or gets counters on it, it taps a creature on the opponent's side, which does not untap on their next untap phase. We have a 2 of Zegana, another 4/4 for 4 with adapt. However, Zegana adapts and becomes basically an 8/8. And also says that each creature with a +1 counter on it has trample. So that's pretty sweet. For our X-Spells, we have 3 of Voracious Hydra with the trample and the ability to fight creatures on the opponent's side is definitely going to come in handy. And then of course Hydroid Krasis, because you have to run 4 of this bad boy. For the mana base, we got 2 islands, 2 swamps, 2 castle Garenbrigs, which helps us ramp our big creature spells a little bit, 5 forests, 4 overgrown tombs, 2 temple of maladies, 4 breeding pools, and 2 more temple of mysteries. In the sideboard, we're looking at Return to Nature, just to help us deal with all the enchantments running around. Lovestruck Beast, for the aggro matchups. They having a 1/1 and then a 5/5 on turn 3 can be problematic for those low curve decks to deal with. Couple Eat to Extinctions as removal for creatures or planeswalkers. 3 Shifting Ceratops for those pesky control matchups or counter decks like Simic Flash. And we're going to try a couple of these Kiora Best the Sea God. Obviously at 7 mana it's pretty expensive, but with all the ramping that we can do here, we should be able to get to this. So we'll see how that goes. I think it should come in handy against, say, the green-white enchantment decks that are floating around out there, or anything that has a lot of some hexproof, or kind of a go wide that doesn't kill us right away. And that's pretty much the deck. Let's jump into some best of 3 matches and see how we do. Alright. Sultai Hydras and best of 3 arena standard. Already had some fun with this deck. Being able to cast a huge Hydroid Krasis and put a Hydra's Growth on it and doubling the counters the next turn. Gets pretty crazy if your opponent can't deal with it. I think one game earlier my Hydroid Krasis got up to 64/64. And that's Flying Trample coming at you. So yes, as you can imagine, I won that game. So let's see if we can pull off some similar shenanigans here. Okay, we got to turn to Incubation Druid. And we can Beanstalk Giant, maybe find a swamp just to make sure we have all the lands we need. And from there, Kiora and Voracious Hydra should be able to put in some work for us. Okay, aggro, Gutter Bones coming down. Go ahead and lead with the Incubation Druid first. We'll save the Serpent. I think we'll just go ahead and Kiora next turn. And hopefully we draw some lands. Nope, our opponent just has removal. Okay, Rakdos aggro. I think we'll go ahead and grab another land first. And play this as a 2/2 just for something to block. I'd always slow down their Gutter Bones, assuming they don't have some removal for it, although pretty good chance they have a way to deal with it. I think I'm fine with trading. The Stonecoil Serpent isn't really key to our game plan here. We could Kiora next turn, but I think we're more interested in just trying to get some ramp down. So maybe we'll just do the tutoring here. We got some green sources. Why don't we just grab another blue, I guess, just because. And next turn, maybe we'll do another one of those. And a Kiora. Not a very good matchup. Dreadhorde Butcher. Okay. And another Gutter Bones. Okay, without a ton of removal here, we're not in a good spot. Go ahead and search up another land. Play Kiora. Say go. I don't know, maybe the Hydra was a better play there, just as a little bit of removal. Right now we're looking at, what is this, 10? Yeah, down to 5. I think the Butcher probably just kills us next turn. Spawn of Mayhem. Yeah. Okay, Rakdos aggro. And best of 3 unranked play. That's not what we want to see. So these 4 drops are a little clunky here, maybe. The Hydra's growth is pretty slow. So I think we're going to bring in our Lovestruck Beasts. And probably want the Eat 2 Extinctions as well. Question is, what do we want to take out? Maybe a couple Beanstalk Giants. It doesn't feel like a very great matchup for us, but we'll see what we can do. Aggro is definitely a weak spot since we're pretty light on removal. Missing blue here, but we can scry with the Temple, and the Incubation Druid can help us get a bigger Stonecoil Serpent. So I think we'll just try that and see what happens. Okay. Scry. Another Overgrown Tomb. I think we'd keep a blue land, but I'm not looking for another one of those. Okay, turn 1 Gutter Bones again. There's a breeding pool, that's perfect. So next turn we can play a Stonecoil Serpent for 4. Our opponent says go. We could fight the Gutter Bones here, but that doesn't seem great. We'll just play it for 4. I'd rather hold the Hydra to fight something else. Okay, there's the red. Shocking it in for Bone Crusher Giant. And nothing. Okay. So I think we're just going to shock again, as bad as that may seem. We do get a couple of 1/1s down. And let's show them who's boss, attacking with our Stonecoil for 4. Okay, now we're both down to 14. Next turn, we could be looking at a Voracious Hydra to fight a smaller creature. Yeah, that's not very small. Another Lovestruck Beast. Yeah, I think we'll just keep making a bunch of creatures, and if they want to attack into it, we'll definitely take some trades here. Gonna have to discard. Okay, Dreadhorde Butcher down. Opponent with 5 lands. Spawn of Mayhem. Okay. Doing that pre-combat, so not interested in attacking. That works for me. Well, keep drawing creatures. We're missing our land drops, so I think at this point we just want to Krasis for 2. Try to draw another card here. Paradise Druid. Okay, still not a land. Robber of the Rich. Okay, looks like our opponent has some removal. Yep, another Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Attack for 4 with the spawn. When I got the reach for the Stonecoil. Okay, they remembered. Still can't find lands. Alright, well, I think we'll just Krasis for 2 again. There's a land. Fabled Passage. Grab another swamp. Excuse me, forest. And no attacks. Nothing to discard. So our Voracious Hydras are getting close to taking out the spawn here. Lovestruck Beasts handle their Bone Crusher Giants just fine here. I think we'll just go for Paradise Druid. So next turn we can Hydra. As long as we can hold off a couple more turns here, I think this Krasis can catch us back up. Murderous Rider, sure. Don't think we want to block. We'll take 4. And then Murderous Rider is a 2/3. Yep. Seems pretty good. I wish we had this Kiora earlier, but we really need to deal with this Spawn of Mayhem. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 5. And we'll fight the Spawn of Mayhem after that. Still not in a good spot to attack. Have to find some way to deal with this Rotting Regisaur. Okay, another spawn. Alright, we got another Voracious Hydra. There you go. I think we'll play out the Kiora next turn. This seems to be in a bit of a stalemate. Okay, our opponent has the double activation on Knight of Ebon Legion, so that's a little scary. But these 1/1s can help us chump block just fine. So we could play the Stonecoil as a 4/4 here. And draw a card, that seems fine.
The ocean surges like
Paradise Druids could make it a 6/6. So yeah, let's go for it. Okay, now we have an answer for Rotting Regisaur or Knight of Ebon Legion. And we also have the Krasis in hand to draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life. Yeah, not worried about the Spawn of Mayhem at this point. Okay. Do we want to be greedy here and pay the life? Probably not worth it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana, so having one more doesn't really do a whole lot for us. So enter tapped. Play you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7. Draw some cards, gain some life. So you go. At this point, the Spawn of Mayhem is going to kill them before it kills us. Okay. The opponent wraps it up. So we're able to hang in there pretty well here after sideboard. Alright, on to game 3. Obviously them being on the play gives them a huge advantage with such an aggressive deck. Rakdos, they have to have stuff like Embercleave, although we haven't seen it yet. And that would just wreck us if they do, so hopefully they continue to whiff on that. Alright. Hand seems fine. Missing blue, but the Paradise Druid can fill that gap for us. We also have the Temple to scry, Kiora to help us draw a card. Draw cards, and then the Beanstalk can help us with some additional ramp and fixing. So I think we'll lead with Paradise Druid for the hexproof. Okay. The Dreadhorde Butcher's a little scary, so I think I'm going to make that trade if they are. Next turn we can Incubation Druid. Temple down for the scry action. Guardian Reed Sword. Sure. Now we just need some way to survive long enough here. I really don't understand the Fruit of Tizerus. Double Regicide. Nothing we can do about that. So go on to the next one. Yeah, aggro, not a very good matchup for us. Rakdos. It's been a good deck for a while. So, you know, that's why we play unranked, so we can minimize matchups like that. And hopefully we can find something a little funner here to match up against and get to showcase this deck. Well, of course, game 2 didn't go so bad for us. Sultai Hydras just trying to play a bunch of big boys. Alright, up against Redman 929. One land. Yeah, don't think this is something we want to keep. That's a lot better. As much as we should probably keep... Guess we put the Beanstalk Giant. I think we want the Voracious Hydra just in case. Main deck Leyline of the Void. I don't know what to make of that. We find a Beanstalk Giant anyway. Yeah, might as well. Okay, black, Burglar Rat. Okay. Looks like our opponent's on some kind of a discard.
We'll make this
these matchups just aren't very fun, so I think we're just going to wrap it up and play against something else. I mean, discard isn't really a great strategy because you're not really playing a whole lot of threats yourself. You're just kind of getting rid of whatever your opponent has. I mean, a 1/1 and then Davriel's 2 damage every turn kind of chips away at you, but you know, we're kind of a big mid-rangey deck, so discarding a bunch of cards doesn't really work out too well for us. Obviously, all we have to do is top deck a Krasis, and that'll draw us back into it, but in the meantime, it's not very fun sitting there with an empty hand. You know, we're not playing for ranked here, so let's just find something else we want to play against. If ever you're not having fun, just concede and move on to the next one. Sure, keep that. Yeah, we don't want a Serpent for 0, thank you. Red. Okay. Ember Hauler. So, Incubation Druid could be down here. We'll just try to get our lands out as quickly as possible. Could also do a Stonecoil for 2. But I think I'd rather just try to get my creatures a little bit bigger if possible. And if they want to sack their Ember Hauler here just to deal with my Incubation Druid, that's fine. But I don't really see the point in that on their side. Just attack in. There you go. Now we can Stonecoil for 5. And I think we'll just do that and play a Temple. Okay, probably looking for a little more action here. Don't need another Paradise Druid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can shock in our breeding pool next turn and get our Beanstalk Giant down. Not sure how well mono red can handle something like that. Having the reach on the Serpent is pretty good here. But of course them having 2 Spitfires is a little tricky. I think we are interested in trading, so if they want to try something here, that's fine with me. So they lose their Ember Hauler and their Spitfire. Don't think that's what they wanted to do, but we'll take it. Let's attack for 5. Okay, I think we're just gonna play a Krasis here for 5. Left deck, draw a couple cards. Alright, now if this Krasis survives, we could just Hydra's Growth it. And that's not something a mono red deck can deal with. Going for the attacks, so yeah, I'll take that. If you want to kill it, I'm fine with that. Chandra's Outrage is your big play. Okay. If you're not really doing anything, then we'll just attack for 5 and get our Beanstalk Giant down. Let's throw this breeding pool down. Alright, got a 7/7 online. Krasis in hand. Alright, Pack Mastiff. Let's go. Okay. Well, I think we're just going to attack with our 2 big boys. I have to block. We got Trample. Yep, you want to block the 7/7. Opponent down to 5. And I don't think they can deal with another one, so yeah, let's just do that. And we got the Krasis in hand. Don't think there's anything our opponent can do here. Swing all. We got the adapt on the Incubation Druid. Opponent down to -21. Alright, that's what we like to see. It's the mono reds, with some kind of a mid-rangey build. Do we really need to do much here? I mean, probably having some more removal would be good. So bringing eat to extinctions. Don't think we need the Lovestruck Beast here. They don't seem like they were that aggressive. So I think we'll just run it back like that. Alright, against ZK Libra. Let's see what you got. Game 2. Opponent says go. Alright. Yeah. Lead with Temple. Oh, that's beautiful. Don't think we're in a hurry to play anything. My opponent says go, and we'll say go. As a 2/2. I think we can wait one more turn to get this Polukranos down. Stonecoil's okay, but yeah, let's look for something else. Nice to have Eat to Extinction in hand if we have anything crazy going on, but Hydroid Krasis with nothing in the graveyard seems fine. And next turn we got a 6/6. Alright, get in there for 2 on turn 3. Alright, here's my 6/6. What you got? Obviously we saw the Chandra's Outrage before, so they might try to double up some burn to try to finish it off. That's fine though. I'm happy to make these trades. We've got a pretty good hand to keep going. Next turn we'll probably just Sharktocrab and see what they can do. Beanstalk is interesting, but I think we just want to keep getting more creatures down. Make it hard for them to have good attacks. I think I'd still rather wait a little bit before we start going in. Okay. So 2 pack Mastiffs online now. Well, Castle Garenbrig. That makes me want the Hydroid Krasis. 6, 7. So Krasis for 5. Draw a couple cards. And a little bit of life back. Yeah, let's start attacking. Show them who's boss. Happy to make some trades here. Yeah. mean, if you're going to activate it, that's the same as just taking the damage. Alright, so Polukranos just traded with 3 of their creatures. I think we're pretty happy about that. Okay, we got a 4/4 and a 5/5 down. There's the Outrage again. But now the Arcanist isn't really doing much. Let's get in for 5. And I think we want to Voracious Hydra for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we got the Castle Garenbrig, so let's 6, 8. Yeah, 8. Not 8, 6. Sorry. Let's just get rid of that before they can do any tricks with it. Pass the turn. Sorry about that, guys. A little awkward. But now we got our 5/5 and 6/7 going. I think next turn, we just Beanstalk Giant, get some more ramp going, and see what they do. Alright, our opponent has 4 lands. Seems like they have some kind of spell in hand. But they're just going to hold it. So we have another land. We have another forest. Could Stonecoil for 3 just to get a little blocker down. Maybe that's fine. And we got a 6/7 and a 5/5, so we just have to make sure they don't try to kill one of them. Make them respect the extra creature. And we got trample on all 3 of them. And we got the Eat to Extinction in hand as well. So they're going to have double burn spell to kill one of our creatures. And that's it. It's a good game, yeah, they played a good fight. Mono red mid-range. Alright guys, that's Sultai Hydras. Hope you enjoyed the deck. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Alright, take care.